Hello and welcome to the F1 IRL Zantello Designs French Grand Prix. This is the top tier, Tier 1, and we are hoping to have an exciting race today. We are around the Paul Ricard circuit in France for today's race. It's round 6, and the session you're trying to join or spectate is no longer available. Ah, my God. So now I'll have to try and get another invite from Will. I apologise about this. Disconnected there for some reason. Probably Will's connection. And apologies about the early errors in the stream, and we'll hopefully be getting going soon in qualifying because it is underway now. Apologies about this. We will be with the race in a moment. Um, Apologies about this. I'm just trying to get an invite in to the session. I can't do anything. I can't get in because everyone started qualifying, and it's very, very frustrating. I apologise, but we will be getting into the session pretty soon. If I am actually being listened to by the owners, it is Will's connection, which is going to yet again mess up. I would assume that's what's happening, and there's nothing I can do about it. Oh my Lord. Really annoying. really poor, this. Will. I need an invite, Will. I mean, simple fact is that if Will can't get me the invite, if he can't get me into session, then unfortunately there's going to be no broadcast tonight for you guys. But he's invited me now, so hopefully I'll try and get in. And we can get going with some action. If I disconnect one more time, then I'm just ending the stream. Simple as. I am spectating. Please work this time. I swear, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna be so annoyed. We're in! So, first of all, whilst we're here, let me give you the championship standings. So currently leading the championship is JJ Rock. Second is Scar Tricks. Third is Kaiser Bob. Fourth is El Prat. Fifth is Axcove. Sixth is Vapids. Seventh is Field Defiance. Eighth is Optic Blaze. Ninth is Ruby Newton. 10th is Just Mr. Peanut. 11th is Ferrari F1 team. 12th is Jacko number 1. 13th is Chaz Williams. 14th is Dizzy Haskell. 15th is Will. 16th is Bearded Beer. 17th is Super Shippy. And 18th is Vijeri. So 18 drivers in the session. We've had one retirement so far. It's Will. Ferrari F1 team is still the only driver who's yet to set a lap. But he'll be hoping to get a good one in soon. There's a yellow flag's going to weigh. So currently Axcove in position to get pole today. JJ Rock will be wanting to defend that 15-point lead which he has in front of everyone else in the driver standings. Of course, Scartruck's on 69 points, El Pratt and Kaiser Bob on 40 and 64, and then 45 points is Axcove. So as Ferrari F1 team comes into the pits, he's not had a good start to the session. Axcove currently en route for pole position as he runs off the circuit. And Just Mr. Peanut looks to be out on a lap. His fastest lap time was set on the super soft tyres, and he will be hoping for better luck than in a 100% race earlier on this week, where he ended up upside down with Kaiser Bob. Just Mr. Peanut was in the McLaren, Just Mr. Peanut was in the Renault, and he did make contact with Kaiser Bob, going for the lead of the race, slid off into the gravel trap and rolled over. So that was a pretty significant accident. It was pretty huge accident that was. And he's currently second place in this qualifying session on the super soft tyres, but he's going for a lap on the ultras. We seen last night in the rest of the world team how the ultras worked out, and wasn't good. They only lasted about 6 to 8 laps, and they had to go for the rest of the race in the soft tyres, which by the end of the race for one driver, I can't remember who, the tyres died. But just Mr. Peanut goes fastest with a 1:30.2. That is a very good lap time, but you do have to remember he set that on the ultras. Sorry, everyone behind him down to 9th is set a time on the soft tyres, so just Mr. Peanut is not looking in position to get pole position. 18 drivers here today, so I'm hoping for plenty of racing out on track. As a Axkov looks to be on a lap, and this track, it seems to me, it seems boring. Both based purely on the runoffs. Like, there's no character to it. It's just a test track, almost. Like, it's not like you're gonna see tight racing and spinning off into gravel traps and stuff like that. Oh! Spinning round there is Axkov. And it's not the right way to go around the final corner, but he's gonna hop into pits now. Very unusual pit lane because there's a chicane. Sorry for that, my mic cut out the audio, so I had to try and get it fixed. But Valford Cook comes into the pits. Sam MCL. I know absolutely nothing about this guy, but he's in P5 at the moment and looking to get a good time in for the qualifying session. Of course, that soft lap would be fine for him. He'd be able to start the race now, but he is out on the super soft zone hoping to get first place. He only needs to make out 1.1 seconds to get past just Mr. Peanut. But of course, no driver so far has set their fastest laps on the supers. These have been on the softs or the ultras. Obviously, if I were them, it would definitely be super soft race. Just avoid the ultras. Have to avoid them. As you're going to see Sam MCL starting off his lap. We're going to go on board with him for this one. And through turn 4 and 5 now. I don't know the numbers of the corners. F1's only been to the circuit once. It's not really a proper circuit in my opinion. As he's getting a nice bit of slipstream, he's got a nice toe off JJ Rock. And that'll definitely help him on his lap. As see him coming through turn number I don't know why I say turn number 72 minutes and 40 seconds left in this qualifying session, and Sam MCL, currently we're on board with him on his lap as he comes through the final corner now. Anti-Beacon, sorry, Newbie Newton gets out of the way. And Jesus Christ, I am commentating. I don't... Oh, I should have put else on there. Get out. Get out. I am... I told you. Flip me. I sent him a message telling him I was commentating and he joins the party. I apologize about that. But Sam MCL sets a time good enough for second position. He ends the session there. So he's in a really good position for this race start. What can Axkov do as he comes through the final corner? I feel like we have a pole time coming here. He's going to cross the line now. He's going to set a 1:29.9. He's currently fastest in this qualifying session. And we have 1 minute and 25 seconds left. Scartrix now on the supers. He's looking to start his lap well. And he has one last attempt at getting pole position. The most ideal spot out on track. We haven't... I don't think there's been a tweet about this, so we only have one viewer in the broadcast. As he starts his lap, starts it off well. So your current order is Axkov, JJ Rock, who managed to make his way up to second position after a good lap time. And then into third, we have Just Mr. Peanut. Fourth is Sam MCL, fifth is NX Optic Blades. And sixth now is who we're watching at the moment, which is Scartrix. So qualifying is officially over. The checkered flag has went out, which means that you can complete your current laps, but you cannot start another one. And it's when the fastest times are normally set. Kaiser Bob has a time good enough for second place, which puts him on the front row ahead of the race start here. Scartrix, what can he do? He is second place in the championship at the moment. As he comes through the final corner, he's the best exit possible. He enables the DRS. It's going to be a 1 minute 30.1, and that's going to put him in second place instead of Kaiser Bob. That's very good for him. Just Mr. Peanut is not on a lap, and apart from that, everyone else is finished qualifying. So your grades for the race tonight is Axkov on pole, Scartrix in second place, Kaiser Bob third, JJ Rock fourth, Just Mr. Peanut fifth, L Pratt sixth, Vapid Coot seventh, Sam MCL in eighth, NX Optic Blaze in ninth, Fatal Defiance in 10th, Vigery in 11th, Futile Smile in 12th, Chaz Williams in 13th, Newbie Newton in 14th, Bearded Beer in 15th, Super Shippy in 16th, Will in 17th, and Ferrari F1 team in 18th position. So I'm excited for this race because there's a lot of strong drivers in the grid, and they can put up a good fight today. This race could go to anyone, as has shown in this league, is that whoever starts in pole more than always is not going to win. Nearly always, I mean, it's not more than. And Just Mr. Peanut comes into the pits And that's gonna be his session over. And it's gonna end the session for everyone else as well. So just waiting for everyone to get ready for the start of this race. We will have one formation lap where the drivers will go around the circuit at slow pace, one by one, to warm up their tyres. Those who make contact or try and take others out, they will be at a huge disadvantage as they will be on cold tyres. If you're not careful on other tracks, there has been some drivers who have spun off in the formation lap, made contact with another driver, ends up in the gravel, and have had gravel on their tyres for the race start, which meant absolutely no grip off the line, and they dropped down about 10 places. But so the formation lap begins. Just a reminder, your grid today is Axkiv on pole, second is Scartrix, third is Kaiser Bob, fourth is JJ Rock, fifth is Just Mr. Peanut, sixth is Elprat, seventh is Vapid Coot, eighth is Sam MCL, ninth is NX Optic Blaze, 10th is Face of Defiance 12, 11th is Vigery, 12th is Futile Smile, 13th is Chaz Williams, 14th is Newbie Newton, 15th is Bearded Beer, 16th is Super Shippy, 17th is TDH Will, and 18th is Ferrari F1 Team. So, make sure to leave in the Twitch chat your predictions for the start of this race. Who's going to crash out? Who's going to make up the most positions? What tyres are going to be laid on in later on with the strategy? And we have everyone from 10th to only 3 drivers not starting on the super soft tyres. Just Mr. Peanut on the ultras, he only qualified in 5th, and Futile Smile and TDH Will on the soft tyres. So remember, Futile Smile and TDH Will did have free choice of strategy going into this race, so be watching the drivers outside the top 10 because they can take advantage and get points today. So as I said, make sure to leave your predictions down below as to what's going to happen throughout this race. And we are about to get going now. We're just waiting for all the other drivers to line up on the grid. As we can see, Ferrari F1 Team being the last one to his car there, and we are getting ready for the start here. We have Axkiv on pole, Scartrix in second, Kaiser Bob in third, And it is go for the French Grand Prix. It's a good start there from Axcove, but Scartrix is pressuring him right on the outside as we go down into turn 1 now. It is Axcove who leads, and JJ Rock and Just Mr. Peanut have made up positions. There's a bit of contact in the back right, but apart from that, it's all clean as we all come through now. Turn number 3, and Axcove and Scartrix are still battling it away. They're side by side, and look at the dive bomb there from Scartrix. He's punted him wide, and he takes the lead in the race, but I wouldn't imagine Axcove would approve of that. I think he might be slightly annoyed over that, but he's going to try to fight back here on this long straight. He's going to pull to the inside, and what's he going to do here? He's going to brake late into this corner, but Axcove, can he get it? Scartrix was braking a little bit later through there, and Scartrix who keeps leading the race. Just Mr. Peanuts moved up to 3rd. An absolutely horrific start there for Sam MCL. He's moved from 8th to 13th and being forced wide. There is Scartrix, and Axcove takes the lead in the race, but Scartrix is fighting back on the inside with the cutback move, and he can't quite get it, and braking into this very tight left-hander, very slidey through there, and they're still side by side as they have been through most of this first lap, and it is very close between the two leaders. And right on the outside, Axcove tries. Can he get the lead? No, he can't. So after lap 1, it's going to be Scartrix who leads, but he's going to be put under pressure now again by Axcove. He's going to try the inside into turn 1. Is he going to make it work? He locks up. That's not going to help him through there. As you can see, JJ Rock trying to move past Elprat. It looks like he has. And Just Mr. Peanut now as well is under pressure, as the two leaders are still side by side. The Force India is getting close together. Alex Optics Blades has also made up a couple of positions. Axcove still behind though. Mostly clean start. It turns out Sam MCL had some type of contact. He's had to pit in on lap 1 of this race, so that explains the terrible start. Vigery as well had the bad start too, and oh, JJ Rock pulling out for a move. I think I see there. No, don't probably seeing things. See, it's very tight to start this race. Elfrat moves ahead of NX Optic Blaze. And take a look at the position change at the start. Optic Blaze and Chaz Williams, two big movers. TDH will have an amazing start. He's moved up 6 positions from his starting position. He's up to 11th. He just needs to get past Newbie Newton, and he has got points. So Axcove needs to stay with Scartrix if he wants to get the lead of this race back, which he did have at the start. It's very tight behind. So Just Mr. Peanut has this huge train of cars behind him of JJ Rock, L Pratt, NX Optic Blaze, and then further back a little bit is Vapid Coupe, but he's still within a second. Scartrix has a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. What on earth went on there? DRS has been enabled, which will definitely help Axcove, as look at how close he's got to the back of that Haas car. He locks up again and he runs through turn number, I don't know, onto the very long straight. He goes. You can see the Renault of Charles Williams running very wide there. Axcove is very fast. He's very fast. Is he fast enough? He's going to go for it. Yes, he is. He locks up. Is there contact? Not quite. But can he get him on the cutback here? He's going to have much more momentum down towards the fast right-hander here. He's going to pull to the outside. This will put Scartrix in a very bad situation. They're side by side. Oh, it's so close. And it's Axcove who's trying it around the outside. Can he get it? Yes, he can. No, he can't. As Scartrix still is in the lead, but he's made a mistake. He's run wide, and now Axcove's fighting him for P1 here. They're side by side as they were on lap 1, and it looks like it's going to be Axcove who gets ahead. No! Scartrix braking very late and forcing his rival out wide. He destroys the polystyrene board for good measure, and he's going to try and fight him back into turn 1 here. He's alongside him, and will he get the move done? Yes, he will. Just for now, but he runs wide. And Scartrex has got back to position. And Axkov has to try to fight around the outside for here. And Scartrex has got ahead. That is so close to battles out for the lead in the race. And JJ Rock has managed to close it as well. He'll be looking to get past him. Kaiser Bob, he started P3. He's moved down to P11 after the start of this race. Can Axkov get him into the chicane this time? He's close, not close enough. Has to stay behind just for now. But can he pull in a bit closer down this straight here? He will have a lot more slipstream than Scartrex will have. As Scartrex is the leader, he doesn't have anyone in front of him. And very good position to be in if you were Axkov, because he's faster off the start here, I'd imagine. And he just needs to find a way through and needs to manage his tires as well, because that can play a huge role in terms of the amount of speed the car can drive at. It's just all about management. If you don't manage your tires well, then you can't get a good position. Just Mr. Peanut has had something happen to him. He's had to pit. He's now down in P17. We've missed that whilst we've been watching the leaders here. The top two, as you can see, fighting down the inside. There is Axkov, and it looks like it's on the leader race. There's contact off the track. Goes Axkov. He's lost the leader race, and JJ Rock's also got past Scartrex, and they're now going to be Axkov leading the race. JJ Rock in second. I think a bit of front wing flew off one of their cars there, and you can see Scartrex fighting it around the outside of the other Cyber, and it is going to be Axkov who leads. But Super Shippy gets a 3-second time penalty. He's running wide is JJ Rock, but he'll have slipstream on Scartrex, hopefully for him, down towards this chicane. But it's actually Axkov he's not going to have to defend from Scartrex. Futile Smile moves past Babbitt Coot for P6. He's had a really good start to the race. He's moved up 6 places. But the tyres are currently in about 4 laps of Zantello on these tyres. All of them, apart from Mr. Peanut and Sam MCL, who unfortunately had contact early on and had to pit. Now the leaders here. Look at this, round the outside goes Scartrex. Very aggressive move there. He's been forced wide by Axkov, and now he's going to try and find it on the inside. So give him the outside for here, but more importantly, I'll give him the inside for here. He dives in. That was very aggressive. Scartrex really fighting for the lead in this race here, as the Cybers had to run wide, and now Axkov, he's now got 2 Cybers alongside him. They're 3 wide on the run down towards turn 1. It's the Cybers who have won out on this battle, and it is Scartrex who's down to third, and now the Force Indias are catching up to this battle. Scartrex has now got 6 seconds worth of time penalties, so very, very bad for him. He's trying to find a gap which looks like it doesn't exist really on the track, but he's still fighting it. He's gonna have slipstream down towards this corner here on the straight. Now look at the space he's found. He's gonna have DRS for good measure. He's gonna try and get the slipstream off the leader, JJ Rock. JJ Rock pulls to the inside to help his teammates. Right, he pulls back to the outside. Axkov fighting it on the outside this time. And Axkov been forced off the track. These drivers have been fighting so hard for the first 6 laps of this race, and they're side by side. No, they're not side by side anymore. Scartrex moves behind him, and he is now in 3rd position. Elfrat only 3 tenths back, and only 3 tenths back from him is up to place, and only 4 tenths back from him is Futile Smile. So it's a 6-way battle for the lead here, as JJ Rock is the current leader of the race. Somehow for him, he's managed to make that work at the start here. Very, very interesting stuff. Took the lead, of course, into turn 1. Last lap. So Optic Blaze moves past Futile Smile as they're side by side through turn 2. And go through the very tight chicane. This very tight portion of the track where you need all the downforce in the world. But Scartrix closing in on Axcove. Axcove is, I think, just in DRS. Yes, he is, of his teammate, which means it's going to be harder for Scartrix to get in front. As very aggressively defending the middle of the track there is Axcove. Scartrix is going to see if he can fight back towards the fast right-hander. And see, this camera angle shows everything going into here. Is he going to pull to the outside? No, he's too far back, but he's going to go back. Oh, contact! Axcove into the wall. Not quite, actually. He's managed to avoid crashing into the wall there. But it's lost him lots of positions as well as that. Scartrix has dropped down. And oh, there's more contact. He's spun round the Williams. Half spun round the Williams. He's been very aggressive there. And I'd imagine there will be a steward's inquiry about that incident. And Axcove won't be happy. He got pole position. He's now down to 7th. As coming into the pits now is Optic Blaze. And Scartrix moves to the inside to retake P3 in this race. It's a real shame when the battle ends with a crash. And we're going to have to replay here. I'm looking at this, but you can't see it. I just want to look at this again because it was very tight. And Optic Blaze and Newbie Newton both coming into the pits. Kaiser Bob gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Scartrix, as you have to remember, he is with 6 seconds of time penalties, and it's just Scartrix was very aggressive on the inside there, and I wouldn't imagine that Axcove would want to leave in that much room, but Axcove wasn't on the racing line there, and there was just a little bit of contact, and that led him into the spin. He's down to 6th position in this race behind Vapid Coot. And Axcove has a recovery job to do, as he's very lucky he didn't make contact with the wall there, but there is inside wall there, but there's a little break in between barriers where there's a space where there isn't a wall, and luckily for him he has avoided that. As Vapid Coot comes into the pits 7 laps into this race, there's only one driver at the minute on the Ultras, that is Newbie Newton. Lap 9 out of 27 in this race, and El Pratt closing in on the leader here. Can JJ Rock defend this for first position? I wasn't expecting anything really much from this race. See, El Pratt started P6, JJ Rock started P4, and see, Ferrari F1 team gets a penalty, and TDH Will's in the points. Well done, Will. You've made up 7 positions at the start of this race. Well done to you. And you have managed to get into a points-paying position. And also, while saying I make sure to check out Zantello Designs, who is our sponsor for today's race. And they are bringing the racing to us this week, and we're seeing battles like this. We have the lead battle here. El Pratt, can he get the lead of this race? He is only 3 tenths behind. You can see how JJ Rock's having to defend there. El Pratt looked like he was going to go for the inside, but then he went back to the outside to go through the corner normally and stay behind JJ Rock. And El Pratt stuck behind him now, but he does have a very long straight in front of him to try and get the victory here. for his at this moment in time. Do you have to remember there is another 17 laps as he pulls to the outside line, and it looks like he's gonna get it here as JJ Rock files him behind. Oh, JJ! Oh, that was not good through there, and it looks like he was carrying a bit too much speed. He might have hit him, as you can see. Futile Smile being put under pressure from Scartrix. This is for third position. Scartrix has been involved in battles all race. He's been very aggressive. It's been very entertaining to watch him fight the other cars in the track. And sorry about that horrific glitch. Kaiser Bob and Charles Williams are only a tenth apart. The two Red Bulls also very close apart on track. Sorry, close together on track. But the lead battle here is now El Prado leads because JJ Rock has had to pit. Of course, JJ Rock will come out on the soft tires. They are probably the main tires that you'd be on if you're starting off on the Supers. So he'll be going to the end of the race on them, most likely, unless he has some type of collision or the tires do something on him weird. And Kaiser Bob and Charles Williams also in the pits. Kaiser Bob comes out in 14th, Charles Williams comes out in 15th. As a Futile Smile still closing in for second. Say closing in. Having to defend from Scartrix, sorry. One stop for about half the field. The other half haven't come in yet, so still waiting on the top 6 hitting. And the Red Bulls have find themselves 5th and 6th. That's good for them. And tires at the moment. El Pratt's going to come in. He's going to take the lead, or he's going to lose the lead of the race. Sorry, Futile Smile's going to lead now, but he's yet to pit. He did start the race on the soft tires. Futile Smile. He has moved up 11 positions from the start of the race. He started P12. He did have the free choices strategy, and he's going to be going probably to lap 16, 17 on them tires, I'd imagine. But see the amount of position change from all the pit stops that are going on. Fatal Defiance comes out of the pits. Same with Just Mr. Peanut. He's making his second pit stop off the race after early collisions on lap 1, so he's not had the best race in the world. And you can see JJ Rock moving past the Red Bull for P2. And if Futile Smile can actually pull up a gap of about 3 seconds in this next 5 laps, then he will have the lead of the race. But I don't imagine that's going to happen because JJ Rock is on much fresher tires than his fellow rival, his fellow racer. So it's 18.2 seconds. So he set the fastest lap in our race. That's very good. And it's a 1:33 there. El Pratt closing into Vigery for 3rd position. He's now on fresh Super soft. That's very weird strategy call from Elprat. I think he's ruined his race there. Is he going on two? He's going on two stop. Doesn't usually work in 50% races because you can imagine why. Axco's moved ahead of TDH Will. TDH Will almost letting him through there, but Elprat moves past Vigery for third position, and Scarstrix moving past Optic Blaze for P5 there on the outside. That was a very good move, and TDH Will under pressure from Vapkut. It's for P8 here. It's a bad exit, and just it's so easy there for Vapkut to get through. It was a terrible exit there from Will, but Will's going to be fighting back on the outside, but can't quite make it stick. Is he going to dive in? No, too far back. Ferrari F1 team about to make a move for 16th position on Bearded Beer. And when I imagine he's having the best time down there. And some down. And Scartrix sets the fastest lap of the race as Vigery comes into the pits for his first and only stop of the race. Most likely. Kaiser Bob also moves ahead of him. Vigery out of the points now. But Sam, MCL and TDH Will yet to pit, as well as that Futile Smile hasn't pit yet either. And JJ Rock's now 16.8 seconds, 16.9 seconds back from Futile Smile. So it does look like JJ Rock is in position to win this race. As UB Newton moving past Vigery now. He's not had the best pace, but he was up there for quite a while, and when it came to the pit stop it was all good, and unfortunately dropping back down to 14th. That could be a potential move for a points paying position from UB Newton. As the field starts to spread a wee bit. We haven't had any retirements so far, which is good. Kaiser Bob now closing in on TDH Will. He's getting 6/10 through one corner. And into turn 1 he goes. And Newey Newton comes into the pits. So it wasn't the move that was meant to be for him. That's it. Kaiser Bob closing in on Will. It's looking like he's going to make the move. Will defend? Oh, that's very aggressive there from Will. And he's nearly crashed into Kaiser Bob there. And I don't think Kaiser Bob will be happy with that at all. Fatal Defiance closing in on Charles Williams. This is for 11th position, but will be a bit further up, maybe P9. This is the battle for. So there's a Fatal Defiance on the inside. It's a fairly easy move for him, and running wide there for good measure. And again, a 3-second time penalty. So Beer closing in on Ferrari F1 team, and Futile Smile comes into the pits. So lap 16, 17 you pit in. He's pitting lap 16. And see Beer moving to the inside through there, and Ferrari F1 team isn't going to give up there. And it's a yellow flag in sector 3, and UB Newton has retired from the race. He's crashed out somewhere, and what's happened to him? very weird. I don't know where he's crashed off at. He's around here for where he's the accident. He's crashed on the exit turn number something, and on the exit turn 10. I actually think that's turn 10, that last corner, and that is our first retirement from the race. So what looked like an alright race, nothing too major, as went into nothing. He is out of this race. JJ Rock is your current leader. El Prat 1.3 seconds behind on the super softs, but he'll have to gain another 20 seconds and a lot of positions on track if he wants to get the win. So it does look like JJ Rock is going to win the race, but remember, we are only on lap 17. We have 10 laps. Anything can happen. And speaking of things happening, we have these two at the back battling for 16th, 15th position now. As a Ferrari F1 team, we'll have to defend now from beer to beer. He's closing in. Fatal Defiance is actually closing on Sam MCL. That is for P9. Sam MCL's been on them tyres since he had that collision on lap 1, which forced him to pit in. And Fatal Defiance, it looks like it's going to be an easy move for him. He's going to get the slipstream DRS, going to go to the inside, and he is going to take P9 in this race. Better to do it on track than 3 pit stops. The number 66 car there. And in fact, Axkov is battling with Optic Blaze. Oh, Optic Blaze moving over and hitting him there. I don't think Axkov will be wanting anything to do with that for quite a while, as he dives in on the inside. He sticks his nose in, forces a... Oh, Optic Blaze just squeezing him there on the inside. It's Axkov, he makes the position, and he's got P5. That was a very good move there from Axkov, and it's paid off. But Optic Blaze will be fighting back. Sam MCL comes into the pits. He's going to go for the remainder of the race on the super softs, I'd imagine. And Optic Blaze very close to the back of Axkov. He's going to go to the outside. There's a little bit of nudging, and he's run wide. He's on the inside now. The wall is sliding. Axkov goes off the circuit to try and defend that. And Vapid Coop's also closing in now. What can Optic Blaze do to try and pass Axkov here? Ferrari F1 team gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Time penalties, I don't know what they are, and I don't want to switch off from the action here, so Optic Blaze has been on them tyres, them softs, for 10 laps, compared to Axkov, they've only been on them for 6, and Vapid Coot, he's got DRS, he's going to need to close in to try and pass Optic Blaze now for P6. And Vapid Coot is made the place not to place there through DRS. It's very good from him. And Sam MCL as well is closing in on TDH Will. TDH Will, of course, is on them super soft, and he is going to be going on them till the end of the race, likely. But see, Sam MCL trying to fight past him now to get Slipstream and DRS. He's going to pull to the inside, and he's going to get the move. But can Will fight back on the inside? No, he's not going to try and do that. And still your leader of the race is JJ Rock, but El Pratt has been faster, but he isn't now super soft tires. He is going to have to pit soon, or the Ultras is what tire he's going to choose. And Kaiser Bob is ahead of Optic Glaze, who pits in. He's going to take a 5-second stop go, or whatever. I have no idea what Optic Glaze is doing now. He's lost points playing positions there, and Adrian moves up to 10th. Just Mr. Peanut, will he get ahead? Yes, he will. On the inside. He's moved up to P11. But fighting back there is Optic Glaze. That was very aggressive from him. And El Pratt is now only 4/10 off the leader race, and there's rain there. There's rain. There is rain. 7 laps from the end of this race. The heavens have come calling, and they have started to bring rain onto this racetrack. And this will be very interesting, and as it puts El Pratt in contention for the win here, if he passes JJ Rock. Scartrix is now fighting Vital Smile for P3. So Bearded Beer has left the session. He's disconnected from the race. So he was only in 16th anyway. So nothing major, I'd imagine, was going to happen to him. Super Shippy. He's going to come into the pits. What's he going to do? Is he going to come onto the inters actually? Is that going to be something he does? He has only been on them softs for 6 laps. Yes, he is going to pit for the green striped intermediate tires. It's far too early, I have to say so myself, but this will play into the strategy. Obviously you're last, you can't take a risk if you want, but JJ Rock still leads this race. Gonna be interesting to see how things pan out, as Futile Smiles made his way past Scartrix for 3rd position, and can Futile Smile defend this? As well as that, El Pratt and JJ Rock still close, just a bit further ahead, but I'd imagine Scartrix will be annoyed if he doesn't end up getting the podium finish. I mean, he does have 6 seconds worth of time penalties, so I wouldn't imagine he'd be getting a podium finish anytime soon, unless he could pull out some amazing pace in the wet tires. So 6 laps left, and it's Scartrix into the pits. Is he pitting? No, it's Futile Smile. He's pitting for the inters. That's very weird. You normally the right time to pit is when the game tells you that oh, yellow flag in sector 3, what's happened? It is the time as a Futile Smile has won this race for himself. DRS has been disabled. Perfect strategy call there from Futile Smile. He's going to gain lots of time on the leaders, and can Futile Smile win this race? Optic Glaze has the 5 seconds stop and go penalty. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. It's a spin there for Will. He was off the track. Mr. Peanut spun, and very, very bad conditions. It's very wet out there, as the leaders now are struggling to grip on the dry tires. Futile Smile and Optic Glaze The amount of drivers who are pitting, just Mr. Peanut has been very slow. He's dropped down a lot of positions. This has completely flipped the race on its head. And can Futile Smile win this race? He started in P12, of course. And JJ Rock, you can see how much they're struggling out for grip there. And Futile Smile, oh, off the track goes two of them there. As a very slow move there done by Scartrix. They're gonna come side by side into the pits there. And strategies have went completely out the window. This is the moment which could win the race for one driver and lose the race for another driver, as it's going to be Futile Smile who takes the lead on this Grand Prix. What a strategy call from him. He has made this race work for him, and just shows what bravery can do. What a strategy call from him. Axkov moves up into P3, Alprat's down to 4th, Scartrix down to 5th. JJ Rock still in 2nd position though. As the conditions, when they get wet in Paul Ricard, the track is even more slidey than it already is. And what a race this has been. It has been exciting and unpredictable right to the last. And you've had a really interesting race. But the field is starting to spread out a wee bit. As Chaz Williams is the last driver to come into the pits for intermediate tires. He's going to move down to 14th place. Just Mr. Peanuts hasn't had the best race ever. He is down in 13th after starting, I think, started 5th place, Mr. Peanuts. He's down to 13th after contact on that 1 or 3 or something like that. So, a bad race for him. Sam MCL, only a second back from optic place. Now, it's going to be harder for cars to overtake now because of these conditions and the removal of DRS. But this does show who has the best pace. No, into the wall goes Axkov on the exit there. He's probably got lots of wheel spin and has spun to the wall and has lost him P3 potentially here. As Elpra's going to try and fight it here. Axkov started on pole, by the way. Don't know if you're aware of that, with how crazy this race has been. As I said before the race started, it doesn't matter if you're on pole or not, you're more than likely not going to win if you start on pole because of how crazy the races have been in this tier and other tiers. And Axkov somehow stays in front of Elprat. And Elprat spun off! Elprat hits the wall! Elprat's out of the race! Elprat has brought out the virtual safety car after losing it on the exit on the corner which leads onto this long straight here, and he has crashed into the inside wall, brought out the virtual safety car. This is an absolutely crazy scenario. He was fighting for the podium now, and Axkov is in position to get it potentially. As a penalty, Scartrix does have 6 seconds worth. Futile Smile has a 9-second lead with only a handful of laps to go. And Elprat, who was in such a good position, has lost the lead of the race. Not the lead of the race. 3rd position potentially. But fighting on the outside there. Look how close that was between Scartrix and Axkov. Vapid Coot now is in pursuit of 3rd position. Oh my word, what a race this has been. As through the final corner, this is where Axkov got damage as he slid into the inside wall on exit. And see Scarstrex trying to fight with Slipstream. No DRS, remember, in wet conditions. He's trying to go for the cutback. He's made it work. It's a great move there from Scarstrex. And Vapid Coot needs to pass him now, because at the moment it could be Vapid Coot who gets third position. And what a race this has turned out to be. We've had 2 retirements, well 3 if you count Bearded Beer. And wait, how is Super Shippy behind? And sorry about that. And Scarstrex takes third. He's got 7 seconds in front to the next car, and Vapid Coot as well. Now he has to pass Xcove to get into 4th place. We're on lap 25. Oh, contact! Vapid Coot and Xcove go spinning round, and that is a huge error from them two. They have lost the potential for a podium finish. Vapid Coot is out of the race for good measure. Kaiser Bob now is only 5.9 seconds back. I don't know what penalties Kaiser Bob has. Kaiser Bob, he started in P3, and he's had an overwhelmingly bad race. He has went down the field after the start, and then he's now starting to make his way back up very slowly, and now currently could be in position to get a podium here. Scarstrex needs to pull up the pace now and make sure he has a 6-second gap to the car behind, and then he will get the podium finish. He does have that at the moment. Of course, last night's race was decided by 1/10 of a second, because the leading car got that 1/10 on the last lap to get a 6.1 second lead, which gave him the win. Vapid Coot has left the session. He's not happy after that collision, and we now have 4 cars out of this race, and you can see how much Scarstrex has been sliding through there. And we're on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix, about to go into the final lap, as a Ferrari F1 team moves out of the way of the leader of the race. Surprise winner, I have to say so myself. Futile Smile is on the final lap now, nearly, and can he get the win? But in more important news, TDH Will is in the point. Futile Smile isn't even on the championship standings, which I've got here with me. So he comes through the last few corners of this race, the final lap. He's got 8.4 seconds in front of JJ Rock, and the main deciding factor of this race for him has to be that strategy call which he made to go on to the inters before it started to look extremely bad, and then in an instant the track started to get extremely wet. The DRS was disabled as he came out of the pits. He managed to gain so much time on the leaders in front. He only just passed the pit lane, so they had to do nearly an entire lap in terrible conditions, and what looked like an almost certain win for JJ Rock today, and it's turned in to a win for Futile Smile. He started in 13th, I'm pretty sure, no, 12th place he started, and he's gonna come round the final corner, just sliding for good measure, and it is going to be Futile Smile who wins the Zantello Designs French Grand Prix. Coming across the line, in second place. He's going to be happy with that result. It is JJ Rock. Now it's going to be close here with Scartrix. It's 5.9 seconds, and he's going to cross the line in third. But can Kaiser Bob close in? No, he can't. No, he can't. He had a penalty as well. Axkov, after a very difficult race, he's going to come around the final corner now. He's going to finish in 5th position in this race. And someone who's been really nowhere in this race, we haven't seen much of, Fatal Defiance, has gotten in P6. Vigery, he's going to come around the final corner now. He's going to get 7th place at the end of this race. And good result for him. Optic Blaze through the final corner now gets 8th place. No, he moved up to 7th because of penalties. Sam MCL, after a collision on lap 1, crossed the line in 9th. And 10th place finisher is TDH Will. And 11th is just Mr. Peanut. And the final driver who will cross the line in this race is Chaz Williams. So what a crazy race we've had today. So unpredictable. Right from the start. And your winner is Futile Smile. So, is that his first race? So we will get the drivers in for an interview. So, just waiting for all of the drivers to get into the commentary booth. Scartrix is in, and we just need to wait for Futile Smile. See, that was a good race. It was very interesting to watch. Alright. So, okay. So, no interview for our first place finisher. So we are going to go to our second place finisher, JJ Rock. You must be happy with the result, but at the same time disappointed because you were leading for quite a portion of the race. Talk us through your race.
I'm pleased to be in the second. I didn't expect it because I hadn't done practice, and France my weakest track. I got a really good quali, got a toe. I was happy with that. I got Kaiser at the start when we we're on the outside, and then Scartrix and Josh had some massive battle, and we we're on the outside of them. after a while, and then I think they made contact or something. I'm not even sure. But and then I was kind of free, and it was Lee behind me. We had a little battle. But it was much faster than me on pace, so we got through. Um, and yeah, and then I think we pit for the supers, and Lee came out behind me because I pit one lap earlier. But he pit for the supers as well because he knew it was going to rain. So he was faster than me, and then he got right to my back, and then I wasn't sure when to pit for the wets, and that's how I didn't get first because Sully, sorry, pit one lap earlier, and me, Scar, and Lee were left on the track aquaplaning throughout every single corner going wide, and that's how we lost so much time. And then I just had to play the race by ear and go to the end.
Of course, El Prat crashed out of I think it was P3. But speaking of P3, our P3 finisher, Scar Tricks. That was a very interesting race to watch from you today. You were getting your elbows out in some battles there. Talk us through your race.
Phil, you there? I think you might have muted yourself or something.
Um,
Just shit.
could you please not swear on the broadcast?
I don't care. Don't really care.
Okay, then, bye bye. You can, be removed. I don't like that type of attitude on streams. Anyway, thank you for tuning in for tonight's very exciting race, and hopefully there will be more exciting action at our next race. Throughout the week, next week we will be having the 100% on Wednesday. Saturday we will have the rest of the world tier, and then Sunday we will have the tier 2 race and the tier 1 race, all brought to you live on F1 IRL and F1 IRL 2. And until then,